Hi, welcome to Gene Rants. I'm Gene. And today, I have something I just have to share. It's, a derivation, I guess, of something that I showed last week. I triggered quite a few liberals in the UK, quite a few of His Majesty's liberals with a video that I showed. I'm judging on the comments that I got about a character named Amelia. Now, the original, this was a satire on a character named Amelia. Now, the original Amelia, as I understand, there's a cartoon program aimed at children to teach tolerance, right? Which means let unlawful aliens run rampant through your country and change your civilization. And anyways, there's the good characters and the bad character. The good character who has to avoid being influenced by the bad characters, and one of them is a very strongly anti-immigrant girl named Amelia. Now, somebody took the idea is that you're supposed to hate Amelia. She's supposed to be a very bad person, but people on the right love Amelia, and one, I guess, this clever woman created a character. She cosplayed, turned herself into a live version of Amelia, and she just stood up for her country, basically, and talked about how the parts of British culture, Western civilization that she loves and doesn't want to see destroyed. So I showed that. I triggered quite a few left-wingers in the UK, but what I have today is apparently Amelia has a German cousin. She has a cousin in Germany named Maria, who has the same point of view as Amelia. So I'm just going to share this with you. Now, it's in German, but there are English subtitles. And without further ado, here is Amelia's cousin Maria.
Hallo, ich bin Maria. Ich bin eine Deutsche und ich liebe Deutschland. Ich liebe Rouladen mit Klößen und dazu ein kühles Bier hier in unserer Dorfkneipe. Ich bewundere die Werke von Goethe, Schiller, Thomas Mann und Immanuel Kant. Ich liebe Bratwurst, Hunde und Mode.
Haram! 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 Haram!
Aber das hier, das brauchen wir mit Sicherheit nicht in unserem Land.
Wir sind stets gastfreundlich zu allen Menschen, aber das bedeutet nicht, dass wir bereit sind, kulturellen Selbstmord zu begehen.
Ich verstehe.
Unsere Institutionen, die Kirche, die öffentlich-rechtlichen Medien, sie alle sind ein Haufen woker und linker Spinner.
Wie zur Hölle sind wir von Konrad Adenauer bei dir gelandet, du Lauch?
Bürgermeister unserer Stadt? Das hier ist nicht Damaskus. Oder Star Wars.
Unsere Regierung schützt unseren Nachwuchs nicht mehr. Haut ab, ihr schmierigen Wichser!
Unsere Polizei kann euch leider nicht helfen. Ihr ist zu beschäftigt damit, Posts auf Facebook im Internet zu verfolgen und euch morgens um 6 Uhr die Tür einzutreten. Wie bitte? Der Mann wird festgenommen wegen Majestätsbeleidigung auf Twitter. Das darf ja wohl nicht wahr sein. Nichts gegen Döner und Barbershops, aber wir brauchen keine 1000 Läden in jeder Straße. Unser Bedarf ist mehr als gedeckt. In der Welt gibt es mehr als 50 muslimische Staaten. Ihr müsst nicht zu uns kommen. Ihr wollt das Land erobern. Wenn uns die Obrigkeit befiehlt, was wir zu tun haben, heißt das noch lange nicht, dass es richtig ist. Oder Schinderhannes? Diese Plage, die unsere Heimat bedroht, wird nicht verschwinden, solange sich keine tapferen Ritter finden, die sie niederkämpft. Oder sind die Blutlinien aller Männer mit Eiern schon in den Schützengräben der beiden Weltkriege ausgelöscht worden?
Deutsche Männer, dies ist euer Land. Kämpft endlich und holt es euch zurück.
Ob sportlich oder elegant, ganz egal. Wir stecken hier alle gemeinsam drin und wir werden uns hieraus gemeinsam wieder befreien. Ich möchte nicht, dass so die Zukunft der Frauen in unserer Heimat aussieht. Viel zu lange haben wir für unsere Freiheit gekämpft. Wir können das jetzt nicht einfach so aufgeben. Eure Vorfahren waren Dichter und Denker. Krieger und Ingenieure, euch fällt sicher etwas ein, wie die derzeitigen Probleme zu lösen sind. Die Geschichte wird bezeugen, was ihr tut. Oder nicht tut. Lasst es krachen, Männer. In Liebe. Maria.
I'm going to let that video speak for itself. I just wonder, though, it'll be interesting to see how many left-wing Germans will be triggered by that. Well, I wonder how many Germans watch this channel at all, since, well, I was actually in Germany. I spent several weeks like 3 weeks, 4 weeks in Germany way back in 1986, and I was actually surprised by how many, well, mainly the younger Germans who spoke English. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm getting some German viewers. I guess I may find out. But anyways, I showed you Amelia's German cousin, Maria, and I just thought I would show again, in case you missed it the first time around, and so you understand, I'm going to show you now the original British, version, the British video on which the one you just saw it was based. So here, for a second time, is Amelia.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm English, and I love England.
I like having fish and chips and a pint at the local pub.
I like Shakespeare and Dickens, Tolkien and Lewis, Harry Potter.
I like pork sausage and dogs and fashion.
Haram! Haram!
But I don't like that. Brits are famously polite, but it mustn't mean we're willing to commit cultural suicide.
Our institutions, the Church of England, the BBC, are a bunch of queers and nonces.
How the bloody hell did we go from Churchill to you git? Sadiq Khan, the mayor? This is London, mate, not Afghanistan. Or Star Wars.
I'll get it back.
Our government won't even protect our schoolgirls from grooming gangs. Sod off, packy wankers! The police won't help. They're too busy confiscating garden tools and suppressing free speech.
That's right, miss.
What have I done, officer?
You've tweeted rudely, and you're under arrest.
Curry is fine, but we have several recipes already. We don't need 2 million Indians here to make it for us. There are 50 Islamic nations in the world. Muslims don't need to be on our island. They want to conquer it. The government says it must be this way. That doesn't make it right, does it, Robin Hood? These dragons that threaten our England won't go away unless brave knights rise up to slay them. Or did all the British bloodlines with any bollocks get killed off in World Wars I and II? Englishmen! It's your country, and it's being taken from you. Chav? Posh? Doesn't matter. We're already all in this together. I don't want this to be the future of the women of England, and I'm sure the women of Iran and Afghanistan didn't want it either. Your ancestors beat the Spanish Armada, Napoleon, and the Nazis. Surely you can handle welfare tourists. History will record what you do, or don't do. Get cracking, lads. Love, Amelia.
Now, something about those two videos that you just saw, I wonder how many of you noticed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what Maria and Amelia, the immigrants that they were complaining about, they had characters who were playing those immigrants, and they looked to me like they're immigrants, that they are the people that she's talking about, and they are in that video. So this is for you leftists out there who think that it's all white supremacy and they're again, and Islamophobia, whatever you want to pick, fear for xenophobia, pick your phobia. But you saw those people in the video, and that tells me that there are. Well, I know because I had Arab friends when I was living in New York, and one of them a very good customer, very good friend, and they don't like this. There's a difference. Liberals don't get this. There's a difference between legal immigration and unlawful immigration. Legal immigration, where people are vetted and you're bringing people into the country who love the country. In this case, or in these cases, Britain and Germany. They love those countries, and they love Western civilization. They don't want their adopted countries to be turned into, or their parents' adopted countries, if they're a first, second generation, well, or parents or grandparents, first or second generation Germans or Brits. The point being, though, that they fled dysfunctional civilizations, dysfunctional cultures to come to the West to live in a Western culture, and they do not want their new countries turned into the countries that they fled from. That's just obvious. I myself am on my mother's side. I am a second generation America. My grandparents immigrated from Kiev, I believe it was, and my father came from, last place was Czechoslovakia, which doesn't exist anymore. It's the Czech Republic now, and Slovakia. They had a friendly parting of the ways, but I believe they came from Ukraine, of all places, but not from a small village called Mukachevo, or Munkash, as they called it, not Kiev. Anyways, the point is, they came to this country too. They certainly didn't want to, because they're Jewish. They were fleeing the Holocaust, and my father. Well, I don't want to get into, it's nobody's business. My father was a Holocaust survivor. Many of my aunts and uncles, and some who did not survive. I'll just leave it at that. But the grandfather was fleeing, I'm sure, the pogroms in Ukraine and Russia, and they certainly didn't want those things brought. They didn't want the people who were persecuting them to come into the country. We're talking about the liberals refuse to acknowledge this or understand this, or I think they do understand, but they don't care. They want people to come from these countries that hate America, because a lot of liberals hate America, and they think that these other dysfunctional cultures are actually the good cultures, and ours is the dysfunctional culture. That's a whole subject for another day. But I just thought I would point that out, that you had the bad guys playing, just like if you have a war movie, a World War II movie, and you need Germans to play the bad guys. I used to joke with my friend. I have a very good German friend, and I joked with him one time. I said, when I was a kid, child, and growing up in the 50s, and we used to like to play army and play war, and the problem we had was nobody wanted to be the Germans. So anyways, that's it. That's enough cultural stuff for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. Your comments welcome in the comment section as well. Well, if you're British, again, but if you're German, because of this video especially, but if you could, it would be a big help if you would put your comments in English, and so we can all. Not everybody speaks German. I speak a little, but not very much. But anyways, so I would have trouble too. And I say, share this video with anyone you think could benefit from it. Subscribe. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.